Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 20th of May. It is a Monday. We have an 8-game main slate this evening. Looks like the main slate starts about 25 minutes earlier than normal. I do not believe we have any weather. Forgot to take a look at the weather station here quick. While I'm looking that up, just a reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options for us on this slate. I will dive in more as the day goes on for the members over at DFS Army. And we're looking at DraftKings since that is where a majority of my action is. If utilizing my pool for FanDuel, just realized that I eliminate my pool quite a bit, probably into a third or so, maybe a quarter. Um, but yeah, let's dig in. At the top, we get Yamamoto, who definitely has upside. K-prop of 5.5 juice on the over. At home against Arizona. Didn't look very strong against San Francisco last time out, but prior to that had been rolling pretty well. Did shut down this Arizona squad in Arizona recently. Uh, Obviously a little pricey. A minus 238 favorite though. So certainly somebody that we want to utilize. Sonny Gray against Baltimore. I'm going to go with the pass there. Has not looked good in each of his last two starts. His K numbers have been there, but do we really want to pick on Baltimore? I'm not so sure. He is a minus 125 favorite. Game total of 8 with juice on the under. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over. So Vegas kind of thinks we might see a strong Sonny Gray performance here. Uh, One big thing is 3 starts at home. He's been absolutely fantastic pitching in uh, St. Louis, allowing just 2 runs. But in that game that he allowed the 2 runs, he did strike out 12, which should end up a season high. But maybe he's a contrarian GPP play. I might have to talk myself into getting a little bit of exposure just in case. But man, it's tough to want to use a pitcher against Baltimore with that offense. Pablo Lopez, home run issues, especially on the road. A little bit of worry, but aside from that, he's been really great underlying numbers wise on the road. A Washington team that doesn't strike out a ton, but they also generally aren't super dangerous. K prop of 6.5, juice on the under. 6.5 number seems a little high, so maybe there is some upside to him. Game total of 8, juice on the under. He's a minus 166 favorite. Coming off of a rough start, but that was against a New York squad that has definitely heated up. So I'm completely fine with Lopez. Um, Probably fine with most of the guys here at the top for different reasons. So um, it might just be a spend up at pitcher type day for me. But we'll see as we go on. Logan Gilbert, probably not taking him against the Yankees, but I do like his upside. He's had some pretty strong starts against difficult offenses. Toronto, they've been up and down. Cincinnati, dangerous. Texas, dangerous. Arizona's dangerous as well. Shut down Houston. Got lit up by Minnesota. Struggled a little bit with Kansas City, but certainly has upside, but it's such a tough matchup. He is an underdog on the road. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over. Road splits, not as strong. He might be the first guy of this top group that I actually end up removing because that Sonny Gray, the more I think about it, the more I just going to keep him in for some leverage. Unless he magically is 20% owned, then I'll probably remove Sonny Gray. But Gilbert definitely has upside. He shut down, like I mentioned, some top offenses. Um, so he's probably a sneaky play as well. But I feel like I have to make a decision between Gray or Gilbert as my, you know, sneaky upside play in tough spots. Tanner Houck, somebody that I'm going to continue to use. Just shut down this Tampa Bay squad. Just one earned, 7 Ks. It's been a few starts since he's gotten back into the 20s, but he's had some elite level starts already this season. I really like Tanner Houck's upside overall. Just a matter of if he can ever actually stay healthy. K prop of 5.5, juice on the over slightly. He's a slight underdog in this game against Taj Bradley. Game total 7.5 with juice on the under. Uh, so definitely a game I'm going to be very interested in pitching for. Houck and both Bradley are going to find their way into my pitcher pool. Framber Valdez, it's been pretty solid the last couple. One hiccup against Seattle, coming off of an elite performance against a weak Oakland squad. But it's an Oakland squad that people have been using because they've been hitting home runs. The minus 205 favorite in this one against the Angels. K prop of 5.5 with juice on the over. Um, he's probably going to end up one of the most popular pitchers at first glance on the slate, and I understand why. I think he's probably the guy that I would have plugged in first if I was doing a first look hand build. Marcus Stroman, somebody that I just never really want to play. Not a huge K guy. Walks have been up, strikeouts have been down. Um, Man, but he gets such a great strikeout matchup against Seattle. Keep it up at 5.5, but juices pretty strongly on the under. He is a minus 142 favorite. Game total of just 8 in New York. He might be somebody that I just fade at their ownership number just because, like, I don't know. Not overly excited to play Marcus Stroman, but that K matchup against the Seattle squad might keep him in play for me. But I'm going to be looking for a reason to probably remove him, to be honest, because I just don't know that he has the upside with the way that he's throwing right now to match some of these guys around him. Like Taj Bradley, I think has much greater upside. He's more volatile. He seems to hit walls and give up some hits in inning 4, 5, or 6, but he has plenty of K ability. Just a matter of Tampa Bay letting him pitch through some spots. Like I did mention, he is favored against Tanner Houck and Boston. Game total 7.5, juice on the under. K prop of 6.5. Juices on the under with that one, but Taj Bradley, somebody that I really like as a pitcher. Dean Kramer, 2 double-digit strikeout games in his last 4 starts. Very intriguing. He's been absolutely dominant on the road. His struggles have been at home. That home run issue at home. Uh, Walk issues as well. Coming against the St. Louis squad that just right now isn't all that dangerous top to bottom. I mean, St. Louis does have some names that I expect to get a little hot at some point, but K prop of 4.5, juice on the over. The 4.5 seems a little low. He's a slight underdog. Game total just 8. I'm intrigued more by Dean Kramer as an underdog than I am about Stroman as a home favorite. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's me just nitpicking a little too much, but I definitely feel like rather play Dean Kramer than Marcus Stroman tonight. Mitchell Parker against the Minnesota squad that can strike out. He's not much of a strikeout pitcher. Since his elite start against Houston, he's come back down to earth and just really hasn't been all that strong. So he's not somebody that I'm going to be looking to use. Reed Detmer's somebody that I generally like to use. I'm going to have to dig into his numbers against Houston. But right now, he is not going to make my pool. Uh, Houston, I do know, is leading the majors in hitting, at least from an average standpoint. I know we don't really care about batting average, but it's still a tough team for him. And allowing hits is just a bad thing on DK. Maybe he's somebody I'd want to use on FanDuel as a dart play GPP option, but I'm just not really interested in him at this point. Reese Olson, coming off of a spectacular start, has been really strong. I'm interested in Reese Olson, and I'm interested in Waka in this one. Game total is at 9, juice on the under. Waka and the Royals are a minus 115 favorite, so it's pretty close to a pick 'em. Olson's K prop 4.5, juice on the under. Waka's 4.5, juice on the over. Um, man, Reese Olson's just been throwing the ball so well. Uh, I just feel like he has upside in the spot. And Walker, couple back-to-back really strong starts, has not been great at home. He did struggle in his one start against Detroit this season, but I mean, he has seemed to turn some things around coming off of his best back-to-back stretch. I think both guys are certainly viable. Olson shut down this Kansas City squad with 8 strikeouts, and that was a season high 8 strikeouts. Hasn't been as strong on the road. Um, a lot of walks, not as many Ks, but still, uh, I like both guys. I think Olson has more upside. I think he's a little more volatile in this matchup, but I like them both. I was kind of considering Joe Ross, but I don't think I'm going to get there against Miami. He is coming off of a really strong start, but I think I don't have a problem removing him because we have both these guys here that I think have GPP winning upside, and they just happen to be cheaper priced. Uh, as a lot of you probably already know, I don't look at a value return. I'm not trying to jam in cheap pitchers just because it gets me another bat. Uh, Bats are going to go for 4 a lot more. So I'm trying to get my raw points when I can, and that's going to come from the pitching standpoint. So I don't really love jamming in cheap pitchers, but Olson and Walker kind of fit that because I think they do have enough upside. So that's probably why I'm not going to end up on Ross. I do expect him to probably carry near double digit ownership on DraftKings, but I just don't think I'm going to get there. Ryan Weathers has shown some upside, but I'm just not going to get there tonight against the Brewers. Taconi is a long man, no thanks, because he's taking on the Dodgers. So, but there we have it. There's my first look at pitching for today's slate. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.